I told myself I wasn't going to do a few takes, so fuck it. This is it. What's good, everybody? My name's Felix. Let me just grab this right here. So I'll have my hands actually talk. My name's Felix. I thought I'd do a quick introduction by just explaining who I am and yeah, why I'm doing this. I'm a 24-year-old French Canadian in Montreal City. I've been in Montreal City. Crazy to put a city on it. Just in Montreal, Canada, in Quebec. Yeah. In the Quebec province. It's a French Canadian province. I've been here in Montreal my whole life. It's a nice city actually. It's a cool place to be. And yeah, I just wanted to give a quick introduction in the who I am, why am I like this, how did I become like this. I'm a conservative entrepreneur. I've been a barista for a few years now. I ended up buying the shop I worked at, so now it's my coffee shop, and we're in it right now. So welcome everybody. So that's my name is Felix. I'm 24-year-old. And yeah, I wanted to give a quick rundown on the few thoughts I had. And yeah, just starting off by why am I conservative? I feel like that's a very big point I should address. I feel like it doesn't describe very well how I think or how I interact with the political world here, especially here in Canada. But conservative would probably be the closest political party I'd associate with. Definitely not the Liberals, definitely not the NPD or the Green. So it kind of leaves only one. But regardless of that, looking at their overall mentality, I am a faithful, I say Christian as well. So it does fit a little bit better with my worldview and the way I approach everything in life, really. But just in contrast to liberals or, as I said, NPD or Green, it's kind of very easy to choose between the lesser evil and I'd say the lesser stupid, because that's really what we're talking about here with French and Canadian politics. So yeah, I just wanted to give a quick rundown on why I think the liberals, specifically liberals, are kind of a big issue right now in Canadian politics, and just overall why I care, why I want to address this specifically here in my coffee shop, because I feel like it ties very well with why I became an entrepreneur and why I chose to own a business and operate in my own terms. I feel like this, and I not only feel, but I know that in this world, in this age, in 2026 almost, the entire civilization of not only Canada, but North America and the Western civilization in general has turned drastically liberal over the last years. I'd say 10 years and probably more than that. 10 is probably what I could remember the best since I'm 24. So I stick to about the last 10 years. But we've drastically tended and like completely with full on drastic leftists on a bunch of different aspects that I feel like have crept over and just been embedded now in our society, in our common life between individuals. And I feel like that's a very new thing, first of all, to be such a liberal civilization, but also just to feel the interaction we have with different people. I feel like that changed drastically. Um, I want to talk about here in Montreal specifically because it is kind of a bubble in a sense. It is a very liberal city. I mean, very liberal, like extremely liberal city, which feels kind of weird because I like it. But it's not about that because I like it or not. I love the city because it's so diverse and it's so like intrusive. It's everywhere all the time. It's so powerful. There's a lot of energy going around. So you can, as a young man, I love that aspect, those opportunities, rather than all the things that it brings forth to like the mental and the moral aspect. Uh, I say that, as I said before, I'm a faithful individual. I will follow religion. I would describe myself as Christian, and I would follow the name of Jesus Christ. But more than that, I would qualify myself as any type of religion, especially here where it is kind of frowned upon to be any religion, not only Christian. It could be Muslim, it can be Jewish. I say it's very frowned upon just from a communal perspective. Most people just don't believe in faith anymore at all, or in any type of institution other than government, which is so ironical. But most people just have forgotten about faith. And that's why I feel like there's not that much religion I would associate with here around here. As I say, I would qualify myself as a new age Christian. That's what I would say. Most of my friends wouldn't. Most of my family would never. But personally, that's how I feel. That's what I really the closest to. Um, I just love the aspect of rediscovery faith in itself. Not only not really religion. I feel like religion is a sub aspect of faith but being able to understand what faith means to you first and how to interact with it and how to develop it really brings you closer to anything you would want for your life. I feel like I was a very hateful person before, and it kind of offered me an opportunity to love things that I hated before. And it kind of gave me a solution to why I had such a struggle around other men and other people just trying to do their best, but not really understanding where the fault was for any of this. And I feel like getting back to myself and aiming that toward myself, I really discovered a lot why all faith and the reasons why I love and hate things rather than just being in the groove or just following the trend of hating or loving anything. And I feel like it really showed up here in my business because I really started believing more in myself and my team and the possibilities that we have. So I feel like that was a one big aspect of why I became so much grateful and so into developing that faith. And it really stemmed from the fact that I didn't have anybody to teach me about faith or lead me into any type of faith. Being here in Canada, as I said, in such a liberal and progressive environment, really the masculinity and manlyhood of understanding faith and holding it and being able to share it, being able to teach it, be able to describe it and to actually understand why it's important or not. That's a very blocked aspect of life here, especially between men. Men have become extremely liberal, extremely feminist. For feminists in general, the weakness and the I say the not really weakness. I don't think weakness is a very good word because it stems from a lost strength. But the empathy of man and the cowardness of man has really shown up here a lot. And as a young leader, I lead a team and I've been just in general, just a leading person in my whole life. I really felt this need for so many people to be led and not to be led into something wrong or to be led into something unfulfilling, but to be led into something that they didn't understand that they need or they want, and not being able to describe it with words, but having this feeling of trying to be purposeful and trying to be intentful in our action, in our love, and our feelings, not being overwhelmed or not being directionless. And personally, as I said, a young leader in personally in a leadership role, I really felt this, I would say vocation, I want to say this opportunity to lead and to show, to redescribe what it could mean and from where it could stem to lead and why when people even choose to do this, why would people choose to sacrifice as Jesus did before for the greater good of humanity and to show what kind of image do we want to show, what kind of model do we want to embed and do we want to like intrinsically show through our actions and through our life? That was a really big question for me. And I kind of found myself into this Christian narrative or this very purposeful and this very dedicated faith rather than just being words or just being things that are being sent to me. It was very intentful. It was really based on how can I leave the best out of everyone around me because I am this person who identifies how people should be led. I am this person who has the sight and the eyes and the clarity to see where things are going wrong. So I also want to be a person to actually point a greater direction, point a purposeful direction where people can lead in and learn and really have a sense of purpose with their action, with their the intentions. And I feel like that's one thing I was really missing in my life. And that's one thing I want to offer to a lot of people. And that doesn't fit with the liberal progressive narrative that we have nowadays, especially here in Canada. As I said, here, Montreal is an absolute bubble. Most people you will encounter here are progressive. Most people that come into the city are these liberal, progressive, young individuals who are searching for a direction. They're not really here because they have something here that they like. They come here in search of opportunity, in search of freedom and of acceptance. And I personally found that here. But also, as soon as I talk about being conservative or being faithful or being, believing something, most people shut down my belief and the respect they have for my position. And I feel like that's a very big problem here, especially in such a progressive city. It should be the birthplace of new ideas, of new schools, of new projects, of new, I would say religion because religions are really based on faith and on doctrines, but I really want to say on opportunities. I feel like Montreal, especially here and now, should be a bastion of freedom and of youth and of development for opportunities for growth, for everything, for absolutely everybody. We should accept each other and love each other. And I personally did feel this acceptance, but also I forced myself to actually be quiet about subjects that are really a part of me. And there are things that I see around me constantly that are being broken. Promises are being broken and they're not the seen as something of value. And that really, I mean, it absolutely sucks. It absolutely, it's weird to have to describe that or to have to redefine that because so many people before me think they're doing the right things. But I can also tell them that it's not true. It's not leading anyone to a greater place. And it's not even building a better future for anybody, even imaginary. Like the moral aspect of losing conscience and losing purpose in our actions in our life. I've never understood that. And now, I mean, if we're going into specifics, liberal men have absolutely ruined families here. And the family concept of how can we work together to work towards something? What should be that thing be? What should the objective, the focus be on? And now we've absolutely ruined, I mean, a whole generation. My entire generation has no like aim for life and no goals. And that absolutely sucks. And, I didn't become an entrepreneur knowing what I wanted or how I wanted to build it. But I did want to build something the whole time. I did have this very strong feeling of how wanting to put effort and intention and my words and my soul into something greater that I maybe could not even describe yet, but I could feel building inside of me and building around me. And that's one thing that liberal men have completely ruined for most people. And you can see relationships. You can see between men and women at a very young age now. We clash on so many different levels and we don't have the common ground to step on and to actually like talk to each other and understand each other, have a conversation. We completely ruin that aspect of life. And it is our duty now as young conservative men, I was a strong man, to show the way, to lead the way, and to describe what should be, how could people love their life better? How can we grow as a community and as a people to aim towards something that is great for everybody, for even, I want to see even for people that aren't born yet, because that's really the objective. That's really the side that it needs to take in our soul, and our mind, to be able to put our attention and put our focus in, really build something for the future of people that aren't even here to defend it, or aren't even here to use it, to utilize those opportunities. But we need to be the people to actually describe those and actually put words and to say, no, these people are important. These people have value. These people should not be ignored for the pleasure of a selfish man, because that's really what it is. And they're not going to say it. We're not going to say it like that, but that's absolutely what it is. And that's absolutely why I'm doing this right now. This video right here of describing my ideology and how I see the world. As a young man, I feel like we have a destiny. I feel like we have a purpose now to actually rebuild what is great and what it means to be a great man and what it means to be a great leader. And that's why I want to have this business. That's why I want to have these conversations. That's why I want to have these challenges in my life to actually show the people that, no, there is a way, there is a proper way to actually interact with those and to build towards something. Most men nowadays are overwhelmed by so many things and they don't have a sense of direction. And that's really what they're missing. They're missing faith in themselves, in their actions, in their love, in their life. And that's really what I'm here to get. And so, yeah, I hope you follow me. I hope you follow me in my journey. I'll be dropping a few more of these short clips. I mean, anytime I have an idea, really. But yeah, I hope you understand my message. I hope you can relate to it. If you're another young man, don't lose hope, don't lose faith. Build your own faith, talk about it. Be vocal, be intactful, be loud, don't be shy. That's one thing that I've noticed. Confidence is a key factor in building anything. So be confident in your message, in your life, and be confident in yourself, most and foremost. Show an example, show an image of what it is to be great. If you can relate to God, do it. If you can relate to someone around you, ask questions and doing, really try to relate to your life and relate to your struggles. It's very easy to put yourself up there when you see like above people, when you see that you may have something that they don't. You may be seeing something that they're ignoring. And it's important not to be the person putting yourself above others, but to put yourself under them, to bring them up, to show them a way up, to show them a way forward through this whole mix. And I don't want to put any shame on anybody, but there's definitely work that needs to be done. And I hope I hope this message has reached the right persons, because truly our society needs it. Now it is not too late for anything. Right now is the perfect time for everything, for every idea you have. So go 100% into everything. Put your words out, put your message out, put the morals out. Follow God's word. Read the Bible if you need. I might start reading the Bible, but really put yourself out there and be intentful, be powerful. That's what we need to build on, our power, our common power and our common strength. And if we just aim that, if we focus on that, if we could really put ourselves out there and put the message out there, it can only grow towards a brighter future. And it can only build towards something better that everybody can share. So I hope that message finds you. I hope you understand this. I don't know what being mad at what I just said. I hope I didn't offend anybody. But if I did, it wouldn't suck that much. I hope I did offend a few people just by being honest. I feel like that reveals everything I want to reveal, actually. So yeah, if you like this message, drop a like, drop a subscription. My name is Felix, as I said. I'll be dropping these a few times a week, or anytime I feel like share a message. So yeah, have a great day. I'll see you around.